USA Basketball Showcase on FS1 is brought to you by Nike. And Team USA is back to work on the road to the FIBA World Cup 2023 as they take on Slovenia, first of two this weekend in Malaga, Spain for Team USA. With my partner Bill Raftery, I'm Kevin Kugler, and we welcome you to a weekend of basketball for the United States as they continue the run-up to the FIBA World Cup. They've got Spain tomorrow, that game on Fox. The next weekend it's on to Abu Dhabi, where they'll play Greece and Germany, with a Germany-Greece game sandwiched in between. All of those games can either be seen on FS1 or Fox, leading into the World Cup opener on August 26th. Sadly, today we don't have one of the biggest stars. Luka Doncic not able to go today for Slovenia, Rap.
Unfortunately, too, came down a little gamey here as he attacked the rim. What a pleasure to watch this kid play. So creative, makes threes, great handle, sets the tone for Slovenia.
Out as a precautionary measure today. You see what he's done the last 4 games for Slovenia. That was going to be a big-time test for Team USA. Team USA felt pretty good, though, because Jaren Jackson and this group showing some defensive prowess.
They are really young and talented. The offensive end, he's really improved his three-point shooting, running the floor, does a great job cutting, but it's that defense, his ability to block some shots, but showing some power with a little duck in and finish with that left hand, little kiss. Again, the dive, the completion, and talk about a little defense. He may have a little easier day without Luka being on the floor, but Bridges, great length defensively, great footwork. He's really developed an offensive game since his Villanova days. Looking for shots more, can run the floor, great competitor, solid contributor.
And you see Bridges and Jackson in the lineup, joined by Brandon Ingram, Anthony Edwards, and Jalen Brunson rounding out the starting 5 for Team USA. And for Slovenia, it's going to be a bit of a juggling match. Who will they be able to put out there? Again, no Luka Doncic, who has been not only the leading scorer, the leading rebounder, he's been the main ball handler and was the biggest concern for head coach Steve Kerr coming into this game after the win over Puerto Rico on Monday night. Morgan, former Michigan Wolverine, playing for Slovenia.
Kev, I think you'll notice how physical international play is.
Tip controlled, and we are underway. The United States with the basketball first.
Brunson running the show, great point. They love this little pin down, pop out, and then the attack. Pretty good start, huh? Ooh. Talking about Ingram, his ability to shoot it. Good use to the left.
And a 2-0 lead as Alexei Nikolic will bring it up for Slovenia. Nikolic will enter inside.
Morgan
going to work.
Pretty physical at the rim, Morgan.
Lazic blocked. Rejected by Edwards. USA on the move and a foul.
A little bit of a giveaway to protect the open floor opportunity. Nikolic questionable on that defensive end. More of a playmaker, but how about that body adjustment? Pretty.
Ingram secures. Brandon Ingram back to work. Now Brunson for 3. U.S.
really
struggled from 3 against Puerto Rico.
Yeah, he did, but he's really confident in that stroke, though. First gave up his honeymoon for a week there to be part of it.
It's commitment to be on Team USA.
Yeah.
Give up move your marriage. Another block inside, that length for Team USA that you talked about showing early.
Yeah, Jaren, such a nice pass here. Going to be tough to score at the other end. Need some easy baskets. Slovenia got to get it off their defense.
Without Doncic to generate that offense. Slow going early. Nikolic can't get the jumper to go. One and done as Jackson with a rebound.
Yeah, looking for his shot, though.
There's Ingram, open floor. Brunson for 3.
I love the stroke. I mean, he works hard on that. You had mentioned a little bit of a struggle early on, getting their legs in that game.
Seven 0 start for the U.S. Robot turns the corner to Morgan. lid on the basket right now.
Yeah, Rovat with a nice pass, though. Good hustle.
Slovenia back to work. This is Jaka Blazic.
Threes and drives it pretty good.
Morgan out to set the screen. We've got a whistle and a foul going on Anthony Edwards.
We're having trouble finding out where to go. Not as aggressive. Of course, when you have a point forward with the mentality of Luka, he controls the whole offensive set. Brunson able to knock that beauty down.
Morgan trying to get Jackson to move.
Yeah, more of an attack guy. That's his game around that rim.
Product of Detroit Jesuit High School, played 142 games in his career for John Beilein's Wolverines.
Illustrious alum, Gus Johnson.
Yes.
Detroit Jesuit.
Jackson fighting inside. Staying
Morgan
with it. Morgan with the block, and it's out of bounds.
Yeah, Morgan is a tough competitor, does foul often. And sort of that physical nature inside. Got to get it in.
Baseline jumper for Edwards falls. 9-2 U.S.
Boy, what a fun guy to watch play. Talented rookie, 24 points a game. Nice entry pass.
And a good finish down low after the feed. Slovenia on the board with Gregor Rovat.
Set some good minutes here early, Rovat. Nice back cut. Again, you can see how good they are without the basketball.
For a team without a lot of experience together, they play well together in the early going. Little scramble drill there, the three no good.
Well, I love the offense, though. Get a piece of the lane, kick for that open three.
And a foul as Ingram tried to work his way to the rim.
Now, where do you get your offense if you're Slovenia? They got to get it from their defense, I think. Nice little split there. Ingram showing some dexterity. They do a lot of dribble handoff. Boy, you go high, they usually make you pay. Edwards with a real clean look.
Slovenia down 5 without Doncic.
Nice
shovel to Morgan, who finishes at the rim. He'll go to the line for one more.
Blazic with a good penetration. Big time timing of that dive. Good attracting two, and Morgan in the right spot.
You can see the experience, Rap, that this Slovenian team has. They've been together for the most part as a team for the better portion of the last decade. They know everybody on the floor. They know where each person's going to be.
Kevin, I think that's the whole world, though. They work together all year round. The United States got together in Vegas for 3 days and then under the gun.
Pretty. And a drive to the basket. Give him the continuation, the finish, and the foul as Brunson will go to the line for one more.
We all know what a great job he did in New York when he moved from Dallas. Just terrific. That open middle, too. They're so flexible. They don't have to necessarily post up. You'll see Banchero come in, Kevin, and they play him as the center, and it's a wide open opportunity for that quick bounce to the rim.
In international play, that lane is open a lot more. No 3-second rule in FIBA rules. And a bump and a foul on the curl. That'll go on Mikal Bridges, his first.
Pretty good composure right here, I think, for Slovenia. That early deficit, much better poise on that offensive end, running their sets.
Deep 2, and Slovenia hanging around. That deep jumper from Alexei Nikolic.
Nikolic had a good start. Struggles with turnovers once in a while. Good three-point shooter. Makes plays.
Edwards, baseline drive. No. Morgan the rebound and the outlet off the backside of his teammate. The feed to Edwards, the scramble three short, but he'll get his own rebound. Edwards on the drive, count the bucket and the foul.
You can see how good Brunson is, giving it up early to get open looks, and then the run down and the finish.
And a timeout on the floor. Ingram inside doing some work early. The defense making it tough inside on Slovenia. U.S. up 5 after the Brunson drive. Big night tonight as the Hall of Fame induction ceremony is tonight in Springfield, where Pop goes in along with Dirk Nowitzki, Pau Gasol, Tony Parker, Becky Hammond, among others. And for Greg Popovich, 5 NBA titles as Spurs head coach, and he's going in tonight in Springfield to the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you know, Jay Wright was an assistant on that Olympic team, and with guys coming in and out, if you recall, a lot of them were in the playoffs late in June. He just said it was a miracle what he was able to do, and these young players too. Outstanding. Because he got his jacket last night at a little presentation. Tonight's the dedication. Well warranted.
Paolo Banchero on the floor, immediately contributing with the offensive rebound. U.S. crushing the glass right now as Edwards finishes for 2.
How electrifying is this kid? Open floor, sensational, good at the rim.
The last to join Team USA, Anthony Edwards. Took a huge step forward last year, got his first All-Star selection.
Lazic with that open look.
And Chiga Samar with his first points.
Blazic, he's been struggling a little with his three-point shooting, although career at 35%.
Brunson, the no-look into the corner for Cam Johnson. And Johnson right off the bench for 3.
Well, terrific from deep. 3 for 6 in that Puerto Rican game. Got a great feel. You got to stay at home on him.
At 15 in that one. One of 7 in double figures for the United States.
Got a charge here. Yeah, Morgan has an affinity to pick up some fouls. They need him on the floor. There's that ability to hang and use. So clever again. Wide open in that lane. No big clogging it up. But a great look. Little dribble drive. Look. Can't get them organized. Get those puppies ready.
Tyrese Halliburton on the floor for the U.S. Banchero will bring it up.
12 assists against Puerto Rico, Tyrese. What a team player that kid is.
The fake, the roll, and 2 more for Team USA, and the United States up 21-12.
Yeah, Paolo really working on that shot. I think he's going to have a great career. A long one, too. Be one of the supers in the league.
Rookie of the year last year.
I think Johnson with the nickel, a little nickel dimer by Cam. So Reeves in that shot there had a great first half and against Puerto Rico. One of LeBron's guys as well. Loves his game.
Reeves, what a spark he was, ref, in that Puerto Rico game. Came in, hit 9 quick points, and really got things rolling for Team USA.
Right. Well, he had to perform. His aunts were at the game, you know.
Exactly. They may still be in Vegas. Reeves off the bump to Johnson.
I love this mid-post for Paolo. He's just so overpowering. Whew. Strength.
Impressive. Back-to-back rookies of the year. He's the ACC Rookie of the Year in 2022, the NBA Rookie of the Year last year. Maybe he'll be the FIBA Rookie of the Year this year in the World Cup. Rebound on the push. Banchero on the run. The drop off to Halliburton. Left him alone. He'll try the 3, but rebounded by Klemen Prepelic.
Nice ball fake. Prepelic has got to get going a little bit. He's a key now, particularly without Luka on the floor.
Mike Toby out there replacing Jordan Morgan, who got into foul trouble. The 3 hits from the top. Zoran Dragic with his first 3.
A familiar name. I think they're the only two brothers that were traded at the same time, Kevin. Did you see that note to Miami?
It's rare. The Gasol brothers may have been two. Not sure if the Gasols were traded at the same time. I know Goran and Zoran were. Loose ball and scooped up by the United States. Reeves ahead to Banchero for the finish.
Yeah, they're getting some easy baskets off that D. Boy, watching these kids in Vegas, their work habits are sensational.
It's the first U.S. national team comprised of NBA players without anybody with senior level experience, but they don't look it on the floor.
Well, they've done a great job. Jerry Colangelo, of course, with Mike Krzyzewski, too, picking a select team. These kids, another year, a lot of these guys will be on that Olympic team. The process is just so well developed and honed. Kids wanting to play for their country. Toby doing it. No. Dragic again, yeah.
Finding the range from three. Here's Reeves off the shot fake. Step in for two, a little strong. And Slovenia will push it up the floor down 7. The three. This one won't go. May have been forced a little bit. Long pass ahead to Reeves, and Reeves will finish.
What a read, too. Reeves cheating the floor a little bit. Gets himself on the board. Grant Hill was talking about Reeves. He said the thing that impresses him most, he's a scratch golfer.
As if being a budding star in the NBA is not enough. Dragic on the drive again. He's starting to assert himself a bit, but a foul.
Yeah, get himself involved a little. I love this brothers game too, Kevin. Good handle, good penetrator, good mid-range game. These kids are playing with a lot of pride, hanging tough.
One more for Dragic.
More of a role player, can run the floor. Pretty good finisher on the break, can bang a three.
Signed a 2-year deal with Phoenix in 2014. Played 6 games there, played 10 games in Miami, and he's been overseas playing professionally since 2015. Tyrese Halliburton. Popped up in the air. Banchero able to save it. See if they can get organized again. No, Reeves is pocket picked. Slovenia can hold for the final shot of the quarter if they want. Instead, a quick three from Dragic won't go, and now the U.S. with a chance to cap the quarter.
Boy, he's taking advantage of his minutes. He wanted the last shot.
Halliburton on the drive to the rim, won't go, and we've reached the end of the first quarter in Malaga, Spain. And the United States takes the lead after 1. The build-up to the FIBA World Cup continues. U.S. by 7 after the first quarter in Spain. Second quarter about to begin in Malaga, Spain. Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson, Paolo Banchero with 6 points apiece in the first quarter to pace the United States, who have a 12-8 advantage on the glass. Bill Raftery, the length and the size of the U.S. as Josh Hart enters the game. The length and the size for the U.S. has been impressive through 1 quarter.
And I think that's really their calling card. Now, offensively, a little out of sync as they were against Puerto Rico in the first half, but they're playing a lot of people. Of course, you mentioned Hart on the floor. He does all the little things. Almost come up with the steal. Look at him cover here. Late challenge. A lot of his.
Rebound secured by Bobby Portis, the oldest member of Team USA, a full 23 days older than Josh Hart.
And he played well last week. Deep shooter, guy that can do some damage inside as he rolls to the box.
Team 2 for Anthony Edwards and a whistle underneath. It'll go out of bounds to the United States.
And Portis contributing there, getting in the right spot. 6'11" out of Arkansas. With the Bucks, gives them 14 points a game. Reeves very good without the ball, as you can imagine all shooters are.
Deep 3 for Reeves, although not as deep as it looks, with the line a little closer in FIBA than it is NBA. Dragic on the run, trying to lob underneath. This is Mike Tobey, who feeds it to the cutter, and the finish for Chubasik. Jakub Chubasik with his first two.
Pretty good movement without the basketball, too. A little look off for an easy look and follow.
Portis is three strong. Reeves will track it down.
He's got a hand. Nice pass.
Edwards with the flush.
What a cut. But Reeves extricating himself with that bounce into the lane. Nice steal.
Turnover. Here's Portis.
Easy entree. That's that length. Play the passing lane, and they covered beautifully from the rear as well. This team's going to be able to gamble quite a bit in passing lanes. There's that ball fake again.
Really impressive by Gigasama. On the other end, right to the rack is Halliburton for two.
Yeah, just can't stop him. Can't get back and balanced on the floor.
Kevin Kugler alongside Bill Raftery, a 33-24 lead for the United States in the second quarter over Slovenia.
They do a nice job going side to side, using a little bit of a forced pass there, but pretty good action.
And now U.S. back to work with Portis on the baseline using the window.
And that's the first time they've really backed to the basket. Nice power move, big time kiss delivery.
Little steadier offensive start to the second quarter for Team USA.
Starting to feel it a little bit.
Whistle
Nickel
on the
dimer
reach
out there by
Portis.
Portis. Yeah. He usually gets his money worth, Kevin.
Working against Giga Dimits.
Dimits, one of those kids, questionable free throws, strong finisher.
Alexander Sekulic, the head coach of Slovenia, wanted that foul a little earlier, finally got the whistle as Gregor Rovat checks back in.
One of the many guys who can make some plays for this team, Horfrat. Pretty good defensively with steals.
Part of Slovenia's 2020 Summer Olympic team that lost to Australia in the bronze medal game. And now a foul in the open floor, giving up the break as Anthony Edwards had designs on pushing it up for the U.S.
Yeah, that's the second time we've seen that. Smart play, though. Unbalanced floor. Instead of giving up the layup, just give one here.
Had the hand up before he got the contact in.
Two pretty good brother combination there.
U.S. going back to Brunson. He returns to the game. Mikal Bridges back out there as well for Team USA.
Steve's done a nice job sharing minutes with these guys. Not a good handle here. Got it back. Edwards.
Push into the corner. Portis will try from deep, and he'll hit. It's a deep two for Bobby Portis.
Boy, he is impressive. The more you watch him. Hurts you on the box. Little middle game, step out, knock down that three.
Third in the league in the NBA and sixth man voting last year with the Bucks. Open, oh, beautiful move in the open for Jalen Brunson. Just an outstanding player, and his offensive game just continues to grow.
Yeah, got to stop the ball, though.
U.S. shooting 55% from the floor in this first half, and a foul is going to be called. Trying to take
Ingram,
it away in the corner, and Ingram with the foul.
It looked like a pretty good steal. Yeah, all ball. Call made from behind the play.
Whether it's the NBA, college basketball, or FIBA, there's one thing everybody can do, and that's complain about the officiating when you're watching at home. So we're just glad that you have the opportunity to do that in this game, too.
Sounds like you're picking on me here.
Not at all. Not at all. I agree with you.
Just a question. Amazing how much stronger Brunson's gotten to upper body-wise.
Ingram will lose it on the way in. Slovenia on the push. Nikolic losing it up ahead.
Watch.
Brunson, the finish.
You knew that was coming. Two in the open floor. Why not give it up?
And a foul. Edwards with the reach in.
He's an aggressive kid. Big, strong upper body. Boy, look at that handle. Nobody. And this is, don't try this at home if you're over 30.
Unless you want to spend a couple of weeks at traction.
Nice play, a little high-low.
U.S. has to foul.
I think Tim Mitz did a nice job. Walked this guy up the lane, and a nice-looking lob.
Call the goaltend, 2 points for Dimitz. The U.S. got a handle on the net on the way down. Goaltending rules a little more liberal in international play, but you still can't yank the basket down with the shot going up.
Yeah, anything on the rim, if it bounces around that rim, you can knock it off. College.
Hanging around against Jackson. There's an injured player. Now we've got a whistle and an offensive foul going the other way on Bridges.
Yeah, that's one of those passes that leads your teammate into a danger area. Pretty good read defensively. Ooh, he took a shot, Dimitz, there. This is the physicality of this international play. Jared Jackson holding his own there.
And his shoulder creating some issues for Dimitz. Dimitz no worse for wear. The handoff. Wild three won't go, and it's going to go out of bounds to the United States.
But they use screens beautifully, get their feet set in position to dominate.
Slovenia, if you're joining us late, missing Luka Doncic today, injured as a precaution. They're holding him out. The official word was he received a, quote, unfavorable blow on a dunk in the second quarter yesterday against Spain. They leave for Japan in a few days for their continued run up to the FIBA World Cup, and they're not going to take any chances with Luka Doncic, especially since they also lost Vlatko Čančar, the Denver Nugget, who tore his ACL against the Greek national team last week.
Yeah, the two Prepeliches really haven't done much. And brother combo, they got to get going a little bit. A little giveaway foul. Shubashik, the lead on.
For the U.S., Edwards with 10, 8 points, 4 assists for Brunson, 6 for Banchero, 6 for Portis in the early going.
A lot of guys can hurt you with this USA team. Very unselfish. They're a few days together. Steve's got them being in position, not afraid to penetrate and find, get those puppies set for the deep three-pointers. But I just love their flexibility in terms of the wide open lane, and yet they can slip different guys in there if they have to.
See it on the right side of your screen. There's Jeff Van Gundy on the bench for Team USA. Eric Spoelstra's back in the United States for the Hall of Fame induction of Dwayne Wade. And so Jeff Van Gundy right there coming in to fill in as an assistant coach on the staff.
It'll be interesting to see what Jeff does down the road. Outstanding announcer, as you know, and also a heck of a coach. He's going to have a lot of options, but he's been involved in USA basketball for a long time. A lot of the scouting he does, a lot of the prep recommendations. You look at that staff. Mark Few over there, too. All his great runs at Gonzaga. You mentioned Spoelstra. Tyronn Lue. You know that name from the old Nebraska days, right?
Pride of the University of Nebraska, pride of the state of Missouri. Ty Lue.
Now with the Clips.
Ingram fouled on the drive.
But the individual skill level, particularly with their ability to shoot deep, plus the use of the bounce. This is where Ingram's gotten stronger, though. That jumped at me last week in practice.
From the foul line, 2 for Brandon Ingram.
And what a nice pin down by Jackson that set that free.
U.S. in control coming up on the 4-minute mark in this first half. Set three short. Reeves the rebound. Oh, good position. Jared Jackson with a seal underneath of the former Virginia Cavalier, Mike Tobey.
It looked like our open. His ability to just make people disappear in that lane.
Some foul trouble inside for Slovenia. Jordan Morgan with early foul trouble. Now Tobey having to hold down the fort in there. In the corner, look again. This airmailed into the hands of Gregor Rovat, and the push for Slovenia into the corner. The three will drop. Good transition.
You have to get back in position. Get on your guy. Gregor Glass. That knockdown jumper.
His first points on the three in the quarter.
Here's the push. Get a piece of the lane. Was stretching that D. You got to retreat and then cover.
Ingram, just 2 points so far. Good box out by Tobey. Chiga Samar works it up. He'll be with Alba Berlin next year. The lob down low, too tall. Trying to hit the cutting Gregor Glass and couldn't connect.
Yeah, good idea, but boy, you need shots. Good shots, too, against this team. Samar really a good passer as well.
Halliburton.
Nice pass.
Fine. And it'll go into the corner, saved for Slovenia.
All these games help the USA getting better. This type of competition, style of play. This is where they're great in that open floor.
Sharing the basketball inside the collision and an offensive foul. Rovat taking the charge from Jalen Brunson.
They may change that call. I think you're right, but I thought I saw them point in a different direction. A pretty good contest here on Jax. Nope, you're right. Once again.
Well, that'll do it for me. So long. No, I've got to stay around. Just been informed. Can't leave on a high note. Slovenia down 43-29.
Glass out of the game. Likes his threes. Doesn't shoot it at a high percentage.
Trapped on that baseline. Tobey will try the three. Short. And the rebound into the hands of Austin Reeves. Numbers. Reeves fakes the pass. Gets the finish. Reeves with 4.
Nice play. Of course, complemented by that run. Halliburton filled that lane. Helped out. Sucking that D towards him.
Rovat. Working it around. They want Tobey in the post against Reeves. Here he is. 2 seconds to shoot. Tobey short on the shot. Still looking for his first points.
Yeah, pretty good footwork, though. Got that 1 foot release. Nice split.
Oh, Brunson. Oh, but the finish.
Yeah, exactly. Nice ball fake.
Into the corner. Prepelic will work it around to Samar. Samar can't get it to go. And the United States with 1:15 to go will push once more. Halliburton step back three. Dies on the back iron. Offensive board for Reeves.
Good composure here to run something. Side ball screen slip.
4 to shoot. Cam Johnson, top of the key three. Strong. And Slovenia with the basketball.
Can't leave him alone, though. Even though it's a miss, Cam Johnson unerring deep. See if they run something through the elbow here.
Samar around the Tobey screen. Three to shoot. Reeves with the foul on the drive from Lazic. Jaka Lazic at the line for Slovenia. 14-point lead for the United States coming up on halftime.
Now, that's a pretty good stealing the ball. You got to be careful with him defensive. See those, that quick flick?
Side and an offensive foul. It'll go on Jackson.
Defensively pretty sound, though, and good anticipation. He's had occasionally foul problems during the course of his career. A little over 3 fouls a game he has. But a lot of times he's there trying to help the guards who've let their guy penetrate.
It is one of the concerns you have in international competition, only 5 fouls before you foul out versus the 6 in an NBA game.
Right. We haven't seen Kessler yet, but he's a nice addition defensively.
Ball tipped away, taken away. Cam Johnson with a steal and the finish as we reach halftime in Malaga, Spain.
And that is their game. Scoring off the D, the length, the ability, the open floor, the big bang, Kev.
Team USA, 47-31, the lead at halftime over Slovenia. More to come on FS1. Team USA, Anthony Edwards, Cam Johnson with a couple of big moments in that first half. Tyrese Halliburton and the Americans, a 16-point lead at halftime over Slovenia. You see the numbers in the first half, and the U.S. still struggling to find its range early from three-point land.
And good open looks, too, Kevin. That's what's surprising. Getting the ball on time, the right spots for that delivery, but they're too good a shooting team to continue that.
Out rebounding Slovenia by 8 again. No Luka Doncic, and that impacts everything Slovenia has been doing in the run-up on their end to the World Cup. Doncic such a big part of that, but out today as a precaution after getting dinged up yesterday against Spain.
Well, Kevin, you take him out of the lineup. I mean, he just sees so many things, can play so many spots. The choreographer, and yet the scorer as well. Just a great, fun guy to watch perform.
But certainly more important for Slovenia to have him healthy for the FIBA World Cup. This has been some pretty good times for Slovenia in basketball. The runner-up of the bronze game just lost that one to Australia in the Olympics a couple years back. They're trying to get back on the map, as is Team USA in the FIBA World Cup after finishing 7th in the event 4 years ago.
And a shot of Brunson there. 8 points, great feel for the game with 4 assists as well. You know, the interesting thing we haven't talked about is Steve getting a rotation. And I think that's what this is all about. Who he feels can mesh together. Who's going to come off the bench on a regular basis. And it could be game to game, too. Somebody gets going, you ride them a little bit.
Well, that's the whole intent, isn't it, for these friendlies that are occurring right now? They don't count, but they count as far as building your team. And the U.S., unlike most of the teams in this competition, hasn't had a lot of time together as a unit.
No, not at all. And there's a lot of similarities of plays they use that each team in the NBA has in their arsenal as well. So that's a little bit of a comfort zone. Little high ball screen, replace. Some good looks. Nikolic running the show here. Nice little bump. Gordon's done a nice job.
Good work inside. Tough moves for Mike Tobey.
Yeah, that's his game. Really effective at the rim. Averages roughly 11 points. Oh, what a screen.
Tobey tracking down the loose ball.
Oh, nice job by Jackson. Giving a nice, easy look. Playing older guys, wiser guys is going to be a great asset for the USA. A learning process.
And
too much dribble.
Too much dribbling time, and a turnover to the United States.
Good minutes in that first half. Pretty good around that rim.
He's one of the best in Eurobasket finishing around the rim.
Good offensive rebounder.
Brunson.
Boy, they have not knocked down those shots.
2 for 12 in the first half for the U.S. from three-point land. Now 2 for 15 for the ball game.
This nice high-low entry here. There's another asset the U.S. Kevin, another asset. They can all rebound and push it themselves, so that opens up the floor quickly. A little bit of a giveaway here.
And that's really what Slovenia is missing without Doncic, the ability to have the guy who rebounds and pushes it himself. We saw that throughout their early games.
Controls pace that way.
Ingram. There's a long-range bucket.
Got it around the horn. Got him organized. Possesses some offensive ability. There's that gamble in the passing lane. You don't get it, you're going to give it an open look.
And Prepelic hit that open look. Extra pass. Back-to-back from range for Team USA. McKelvey Bridges for 3.
That's going to open up their driving game, too. They start knocking down those shots, the closeouts, and they can pay. Nice hands.
Lob ahead.
Hold
Edwards
on.
with 2 hands.
That's where they're going to get their game going. Be aggressive. Turnovers to goals. He is so good in the open floor.
Robot. Can't get the roll. Edwards will start it up for the U.S.
Everything challenged right now.
Strong got a good look, though.
He's worked on that jump shot out there, Jackson.
Dragic, his 3 rebounded by Ingram. Long pass ahead to Jackson to the rim. He'll go to the line for a pair.
Pretty good hustle. He's a little upset, Gorn. Zoran, I should say. Not a bad play defensively.
Shiga Samar, Jaka Blažić on the floor for Slovenia. One more for Jaren Jackson.
Watching Samar, he does a really good job defensively, too. Fighting over screens.
Robot. Oh, the finish inside.
How about that? Toby. All set up by that dribble drive, step up D. Get to the rim, big guy.
Four points for Toby.
Yeah, I really haven't seen that elbow entry much by the USA.
U.S. has got to hurry. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Deep 3. Rolls off to Slovenia.
Pretty good D. The stop in the back by Jackson.
Losic with the three.
How about him? Stepping out. You could see with Luka in the game, though, all these guys are going to get more opportunities because his vision is extraordinary.
And he'll draw so much attention when he's out there. Toby will try. A little strong for the big man.
He's a pick and pop three guy, though, as good as he is around the rim. Toby, that is.
Foul on Samar and a timeout on the floor. Team USA got it going early, but Toby with a flush to get Slovenia within 17. 57-40 lead for Steve Kerr's Team USA in game 2 of their preparation for the FIBA World Cup, and the showcase continuing from Malaga, Spain today and tomorrow. They'll play Spain in front of what will likely be a very raucous crowd tomorrow when the U.S. takes on Spain.
I would think so. A lot of changes. No more Gasols that we're accustomed to seeing over the years, but high level. And Carroll on the floor now. A little bit of turnover anticipation, but Steve giving guys minutes just to establish their game a little bit. Mentioned Portis early, played well. Bencaro come in, sharing the time and trying to get these guys as much exposure at this level as possible.
So Austin Reeves has a young fan in the stands in Spain. Rims out on that three to Samar.
Reeves got a lot of a fan club going, no matter where we are. I don't know if Bencaro discarded. Dimitz, maybe. So much bigger and stronger. How about that discard? Steve proving he's bilingual.
He's helping everybody, coast to coast and sea to sea. And the three, it's Slovenia back within 14, starting to find a little bit of range. That Gregor Glass.
Volume three-point shooter.
Extra pass to the corner, and the U.S. with the answer from Cam Johnson.
Well, ball movement and late closeouts against the talented deliverer. Dimitz and Bencaro have been teeing up against one another. Now this is a switch with Reeves.
Working inside, and Dimitz, shot clock going off in the background.
I'll tell you, that was excellent defense, though. Really aggressive. And there's the physicality you're used to. It's up to when you're exposed to it, though. Josh Hart hasn't played a whole lot of minutes. He stirs it up. It's amazing to think 3 Villanova kids on this world team, isn't it, Kevin?
It's something
Nice
else.
pass.
And the roll to the rim. Bencaro with a finish. Not a bad thing, though, when you're trying to put a culture together quickly, Raph, to bring in some guys who experienced a great culture together at the college level.
Yeah, great point, too. Foundation of that program, solid guys that happen to love the game and play hard. You know, that ball, for some reason, reminds me of the rolls they serve on the airline with that rotation.
The pretzel roll.
The round
ball.
pretzel roll, yeah. Traveling too much, I guess.
Eating too many pretzel rolls.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get rolls in 34B, Raph, so.
Well, I've had a few middle seats, too. Again,
Johnson.
easy pin down. Can't give him those looks. Automatic switching here on the perimeter.
Strong. Rebound to Hart.
They give it up nicely, though. Unselfish. Shorten the floor. Nice pass.
Feed. And then they find of Reeves for three.
Too easy.
And a timeout with 1:58 to go in the third. Austin Reeves with the three, prompting a Slovenia timeout and a little frustration from Alexander Sekulic on the sideline.
Losing his cool. Pretty basketball, though. Unselfish extra look. Great dive by Hart. And then the fine Reeves. Not Superman, but he delivers. You know, getting back to Reeves, Wichita State, when I first heard or saw him, then had him at Oklahoma. And just a basketball player. Can run the point. Obviously a terrific shooter. Good handle. Just a confident basketball player with talent.
Dad Brian Reeves, mom Nicole Wilkett, played at Arkansas State. Mom was a prolific scorer, 21 points per game. Dad was a distributor, 384 assists in his career.
You probably covered them knowing you in your career.
I've covered Arkansas State. I'm not sure I covered them.
Shubasic on the floor now. Nice hands from the rear. Stays this way. Shubasic in that Romanian league averaged 11 and 4. 11 points, 4 rebounds, at 46% threes, so he can do some damage.
Demons, the handoff to Samar. Had to get that shot up with the shot clock winding down. Second chance here. Demons inside. Muscles it through.
He is a strong player. Just spread those wings. Disarm too.
6'11", 250. Solid inside.
Steve likes to get Bancaro in that post up, mid-post area. Gave it up quickly.
Push pass from Samar, and the three drops. Another one for Gregor Glass.
Samar has done a really nice job penetrating and finding people, complemented by Glass's ability to stroke it from deep. Little doozy-doo at that end, and this is the strength factor amongst two, able to out physical.
Halliburton with the hesitation in the finish.
I saw Rick Carl last night. He was so excited. Expecting big things from Tyrese.
Samar looking to see what the call is on the sideline.
Nice step through. Mentioned his ability to pass the ball, guard. How about that? Surveys, finishes.
Halliburton got a 5-year, $260 million extension to start July, the same day he was named to Team USA. So that's a day for Tyrese Halliburton that you'll remember. You're named to the United States team and you sign a life-changing contract.
That's better than your birthday, huh?
Yes,
now
I've never had a birthday quite like that.
Now he's in your league.
Getting there. About a 1-second difference game in shot clock. 5 on the shot clock for Reeves.
Almost had the cut.
Slovenia on the run to the rim, won't go. And the third quarter comes to an end in Malaga, Spain. The United States comfortably ahead, trying to go to 2-0 in their early run-up to the FIBA World Cup. 67-49, Team USA up on Slovenia as we start the fourth quarter alongside Bill Raftery. I'm Kevin Kugler. The three-pointers starting to fall a little bit more for Team USA.
They really had some great looks. Look at the time, the distance. Goodness, they all can stroke it. Hit a piece of that lane. They love that little corner jumper. And obviously, you knock those babies down. Your defense is set. You can get back. The extra pass from Hart after the cut. And Reeves, who I think is going to be a major factor in playing point or shooting guard, brings some real offensive ability to the floor.
4 of 11 since that 2 for 12 first half. So a good third quarter. See if they can build on it here in the fourth, comfortably in front of Slovenia, 67-49. Right back to the long-range jumper, won't go. United States on the run. Halliburton. Yeah, looked like he got away with a trap.
Yeah, he did.
Banchero can't get the roll.
Nice look, though. Soft touch. Only going to get better. I'll never leave your feet.
And a rejection by Banchero.
And look at him run the floor, too, Kevin. That's what I was impressed with in Vegas. A lot of effort out there. Think he got an easy one. Kolik at that rim.
Cam Johnson. Another good look.
Absolutely a nice touch pass by Reeves. Didn't waste any time.
Nikolic trying to drop it off to Dimitz underneath and a foul on Banchero.
Boy, Dimitz just loads up. So imposing. Here, look at that step through. Banchero is a strong guy. You mentioned 250, uses it all.
Robot gets 2.
He's had some good minutes.
Long pass ahead. Hart has it poked out of his hands. It'll go out of bounds, and it'll belong to Slovenia.
Between open shots and finishing breaks, there's a lot to tidy up for USA.
10 turnovers. The struggles from 3 saved the third quarter. 3.
That's a tough shot. That is a tough shot. Gee, Glass again, huh?
Trying to answer. Halliburton's 3, no. Gregor Glass provide a spark, Raf. He's got 12.
They're letting them back in, too.
And a turnover. Can the U.S. convert? It popped out of the hands of Josh Hart. It'll stay with the United States.
Have a little trouble squeezing that baby. How about that off the dribble, too? Not an easy look. Whew. Not using the glass, just straight in.
Timeout in Spain, where the United States still leads Slovenia, trying to make a charge. Team USA trying to close this one out. A date with Spain tomorrow on Fox for the United States as they continue in the USA Basketball Showcase. You see the score by quarter. Slovenia off to a good start in the fourth quarter as the United States has struggled again from 3 to start this final frame.
Yeah, they got to straighten a lot out. Next day, Spain is a talented team, highly ranked nationally, some experience. Hernan Gomez brothers and some guys who've been down the road a little bit. Fernandez, another. Be fun to watch. Brunson. That's where I like him, though. Once he gets in that lane, he does some really extraordinary things. Forces people to help, opens up looks. Out of Arizona, Steve Kerr. What a keeper he is as they get a nice look. Bridges. Easy. Baseline out of bounds.
First points for Bridges in a while. He has 7 for the game. Trying to answer with a 3. Rebounded by the United States, and Brunson moved it up the floor.
That was a nice little play, but it's tough to shoot with the defender on your right arm. In your vision.
Rebound by Dimitz. Dimitz posting against Portis. Good defense.
There he is again. Boy, you're going to be weary guarding that guy.
U.S. ball with 17 to shoot.
Right there you can see nice square up going to his left. Bridges become an offensive threat in the last couple of years.
Back
we said the rest of the game.
Morgan got into early foul trouble. Hasn't played much since the start of this game.
Not at all. Looks like USA's sort of coasting right now, don't you think, Kevin?
Yeah.
They're not really
Robots
getting
3 won't go. Not a lot going on for the United States right now. Just comfortably ahead. And a foul. Glass with a
foul on Glass, who's played very well.
12 points, 2 rebounds for Gregor Glass.
With a zone look the last couple of trips. Forcing those deep shots, no penetration.
The U.S. not
nice
able to
run.
convert.
Oh, what a play. Ready.
Bina Prepelic, the brother of Klemen Prepelic on this team, able to get 2 on the board, and there's a 3 for Anthony Edwards.
Well, really spacing the players, though. Edwards had a good run in that first quarter. Just really getting everybody involved, get some experience. Oh, my goodness.
Foul way out there on Edwards.
Talk about being aggressive. He is right in there. Old time fake. That's pretty, isn't it?
Nikolic to Prepelic. Glass in line for free throws.
The momentum carrying Portis out. Pretty subdued crowd, isn't it?
It will not be tomorrow when the U.S. and Spain play.
No.
There will be a lot of life in that building.
Yeah. Jakub Lazic into the game, known for his three-point shooting, drives it as well.
From an athletic family, Raf. Lazic's mom and sister, both volleyball players, and his dad a ski coach. They cover all the sports. Wow. Bridges loping to the rim.
Pretty step through. Really uses his legs and upper body nicely. I think they must have had an unsportsmanlike here. Yeah.
Alexander Sekulic whistled for a technical, the head coach of Slovenia.
I can see what he means, though, huh? Did he feel it was a push-off, I guess?
I don't believe he's much happier now than he was a moment ago.
No. Didn't change the call.
No, or his mood. Rovat the handoff to Samar. 6 to shoot.
Samar's giving him some good minutes. Nice help defense.
Rejected. Ingram swatting Rovat.
Ingram, yep.
Bridges to the rim, and the tip won't go, but the follow by Portis does drop.
That's their style. Be relentless. Aggressive on the D, explode to the other end.
And a foul on Ingram.
So many guys can hurt you with this USA team. You're trying to figure out rotation. You can run the show. Who's going to guard?
Team USA in control over Slovenia, trying to close this one out, a 77-58 lead with 4:37 to play. With Bill Raptor, I'm Kevin Kugler. Good to have you with us. Tomorrow on Fox, it's the U.S. and Spain, and what figures to be a more stern test for the United States tomorrow than Slovenia without Luka Doncic today.
You know, what makes the USA tough is their closeouts with their length is a big-time factor. Very tough to drive on them for that reason.
Samar can't get it to go. Portis the board.
Boy, more watch Bobby Portis. He is a player. All ends of the floor. A lot of spirit.
And Brunson knifing in. He's got 11, second American in double figures. Edwards with 15.
Hey, wheels and deals. Great head for the game. A little hold out there by Bridges. Trying to go over the top on certain guys. Portis sloughs off in case they turn the corner.
Little different game today, Rap, than the Puerto Rico game on Monday in Vegas. You saw 7 Americans in double figures in that one, but 8 players with 7 points or more for Team USA here today.
Yeah, spread it out. I think the minutes will be equal too. Everybody get an opportunity. I think the only one that hasn't been in is Walker Kessler, as Brunson takes a blow.
Maybe the end of the night for Jalen Brunson.
I would think so.
A good round of applause. Austin Reeves back in there, the double-figure scores on Monday. Obviously a different game, much higher scoring game, and the U.S. got that transition game ramped up on Monday against Puerto Rico.
Boy, that second half, they were into overdrive.
Walker Kessler on the floor now for the first time for Team USA.
I like his game. Mostly on the practice schedule that we get to see him. Very good feet, mobility. Obviously a major deterrent at the rim. He's going to have a real good career.
Yeah, National Defensive Player of the Year, his final year at Auburn, and then a first-team All-Rookie pick this year with the Jazz.
Pretty good credentials.
travel. Turnover by Ingram.
I don't know about that, do you?
Wow, I was looking for the travel.
Yeah.
If that gets called a travel, that's going to force a lot of changes in the way these guys play over the course of international play.
Isn't that the truth? Nice pump fake.
Kreplitz trying to follow his own shot. Hart saves it for the United States.
Walker really smart, though. Just see him pass it, go down, seal his man, beg for the ball. Would have had an easy deuce if not for the foul. Here he is loading up in that lane. Reeves. Know him as a shooter, but he's a good passer as well. Shubashik hasn't had a lot of minutes. Hart so unselfish, thought he should have shot that.
Makes a contested shot with the rebound. Reeves driving in and tipped out of bounds with 10 to shoot. And a quick three up and down for Austin Reeves. Ten now for Reeves. And two on the board for Morgan.
There's your guy, other than the fouls. Could have used him.
Got into that early foul trouble, and he did not come back in until the fourth quarter. Kessler has it taken away.
Good catch, but didn't protect it.
Rovan. Rebound, Halliburton.
Always looking at nice pass.
Johnson. Got another good look. Hart with the offensive board.
Whatever
Halliburton.
you need, Josh. Pretty. Whatever you need, Josh Hart gives you.
And a timeout called with the U.S. up 85-60 on the three from Halliburton.
Tyrese delivered. Great assist guy. And Reeves gets them organized. Terrific rotation. And a little juice from the Pines. Edwards, I thought, played very well. Kevin early. Then Caro. Amazing. Rookie of the year attitude.
We'll step aside on the timeout with a 25-point U.S. lead. United States ready to close this one out and get ready tomorrow for the quick turnaround for Spain. 85-60 the lead over Slovenia with 1:35 to go in Malaga, Spain. Up and down performance today for Team USA, Bill Raftery, but a lot to build on and a lot to work on from this game.
Yeah, I think they need a good test. Would you agree with that?
I would, and I think they'll get one tomorrow.
No question about it.
Count the bucket. It's a goaltend.
Walker right there at the rim. All of it's a learning experience, though. Being together for the first time. That's what I love about that kid. Kessler always attacks the driver and seldom fouls the smaller guy. Oh, too easy there. Nice handle of the zone. Josh Hart. He'll turn around, Jay.
First two for Hart to go with his 3 rebounds. And a turnover. Halliburton fouled in the open floor by Gregor Glass.
Gave that foul. Halliburton used that shoulder nicely. Now, Slovenia's got some things to think about, too, I think. You know, who should get some more minutes to complement Luka. Glass being one of them. Samar, I thought, played well.
There's definitely some talent there. You had Luka Doncic, and it changes the entire team as he completes the and-one situation with three-point play for Halliburton.
Well, his analysis and feel and how he attracts people just opens up so many opportunities.
Morgan inside. Have to back it out.
Nice.
Shot clock winding down. The three strong.
Real good ball movement, though.
Kessler
Nice
spinning
play
to the rim, and every American is in the scoring column.
That's the footwork. I mean, he's an agile, very dominant defender.
Final seconds of this one, and the United States up by 30. And the U.S. will just dribble this one out. 92-62, the U.S. defeats Slovenia. 2-0 in the run-up to the FIBA World Cup in a couple of weeks. And Team USA with a 30-point runaway over Slovenia. And the next challenge tomorrow on Fox, Bill Raftery, with Spain in front of what will be a much more active crowd in Malaga.
Absolutely, a lot to learn. The coaches will be looking at some tape. We'll probably have a team meeting later and discuss some of the good points and allude to some of the ones where they've got to shore up. But by and large, this defensive ability, I think, is really their calling card, because it's going to give them offensive opportunities. And as they get their rotations down, this young club could be awfully good. That's the way you want to see Luka, huh? When you play Slovenia.
Exactly. In street clothes.
In a golf shirt, yeah. Steve, watching them coach, it's a very gentle group of coaches. They explain and teach. They know they've got young guys who know how to play. Just molding them to have the impact they like, which is their goal. Sean Ford there, who runs the show for you. He and Jim Tooley. Great people that do so much in so many areas of basketball. They live it, breathe it, and include everybody.
Team USA with a 92-62 win over Slovenia. USA basketball showcase continuing for Team USA. They'll play tomorrow against Spain. That game on Fox, and then for the United States, it's on to Abu Dhabi, where they'll play against Greece and Germany. Of course, the Germany-Greece game also on Fox before they open up the FIBA Men's World Cup August 26th against New Zealand in Group C play. They're the number 2 ranked team in the world. The number 1 ranked team is Spain. They'll play tomorrow on Fox. Some of the highlights of this one as the United States takes out Slovenia 92-62.
So many good individual plays. That was Reeves in the open floor. This is what I love. Dribble, drive, cut, make the extra pass. Reeves getting those puppies organized. It's all going to be about their defense. Can they get steals? Can they force tough shots, challenge shots, create turnovers? A little highlight for those people back in Georgia and Minnesota for Edwards. A little pin down Ingram. Square. Drills it. Such a fluid performer. And this guy can run a basketball team. Brunson, a little crossover, controls speed, tempo. If they can guard, they're going to get these kind of looks. Poise at the rim. Edwards. So effective. And again, I just love the ball movement, precision of cutting properly. And how about this impressive numbers? And not a whole lot of minutes either by Anthony Edwards.
15 points in this one. 15 points he scored against Puerto Rico on Monday. Even by my math, I can average that out to 15 points per game in the USA Basketball Showcase. Anthony Edwards doing some things, as is Jalen Brunson. 11 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds. Running the show again.
He just gets great numbers, Kevin. His understanding of when to push it, when to get others involved. I think that's the key position for this team. He'll be the point guy. I think Reeves will slide in there. Edwards will slide in there. They can run the show, get more confidence, shore up that D, get some open floor opportunities. They are going to be a tough out.
9 Americans with 7 points or better, 4 in double figures as Team USA gets the victory. 92-62, the final over Slovenia. Coverage continues tomorrow when Team USA will take on Spain. Malaga. Have that for you at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Team USA beats Slovenia 92-62. For Bill Raftery and the rest of our crew, I'm Kevin Kugler saying so long, and we'll see you tomorrow as the U.S. plays Spain on Fox.